Hey, greetings everyone, and thank you for joining us on HeSpoke Fashion. I'm your host, Daylon Thomas, and this evening we will delve into a topic that revolves around a familiar trope within the Black church, particularly concerning the fashion choices of church leaders both in and out of the pulpit. Now, tonight's discussion will focus on a notable figure who exemplifies this particular issue. Now, the Black church is currently grappling with significant challenges, and unfortunately, it seems to be trending in a troubling direction once again. Now, the individual at the center of our conversation may come as a surprise, or you know what? Perhaps they will not. Now, we are witnessing yet another mega church pastor who finds himself frequently scrutinized for his conduct while ministering from the pulpit, as well as his behavior outside of the pulpit. Now, while I do not wish to critique the content of any preacher's sermon, I feel compelled to address the attire that they choose to wear while delivering their messages. Now, such choices can profoundly influence not only those seated in the pews, but also those observing from the outside. So tonight, we will discuss the importance of holding these preachers accountable for their fashion decisions as we engage in this critical conversation. Now, guys, the topic is Pastor Mike Todd comes out. Now, guys, comes out of what? We don't know. But let's listen to Pastor Mike try to deflect from the critique of many from the outfit he wore the previous Sunday, shall we?
Audacious faith, watch this. You don't want to miss one of these points. Audacious faith agitates average. I have to make a confession. I'm annoying to people. No. I am fully aware. No, not everybody. But there is a segment of our society who doesn't like how audacious I am. They'll find anything to try to tear down what God's doing in my life. It can be a piece of cloth, or it can be the way I say something. But the truth of the matter is my audacity to believe God, my audacity to be committed to one woman who's fine, my audacity to actually raise my kids, my audacity to encourage people who are broken and lost and backwards and tell them that God can transform their life, that agitates people. Who he think he is? Coming up here wearing this and doing that and that. Just a child of God who believe the promises of God, who gonna walk in them whether you like it or not. But what audacity does, it offends the average.
All right, guys. Now, from this clip, it seems that Pastor Mike dismisses the idea that his critics, particularly regarding his attire, are simply individuals who dislike him. Now, he asserts that those who oppose him are not audacious, but rather average at best. Now, while the pastor resorts to disparaging comments about his critics' fashion sensibilities, I will instead adopt a more constructive approach by examining the journey that led Pastor Mike Todd to this position of scrutiny. And Pastor Mike, let me be clear, I don't dislike you or your ministry. And you know what, guys? As a matter of fact, while gathering research for this particular show, I viewed at least 2 of his sermons, which I thought were informative and motivational, as well as, guys, I viewed his social media where I found what I believe to be a hint as to what brought Pastor Mike Todd to this place of criticism. Now, again, I want to go on record in saying that I have no issues with you, your sermon, or your ministry. But your fashion is where we are, and the responsibility that goes with it is where we are tonight. Now, before we proceed any further, AB, could you please share our disclaimer? All right, guys. At HeSpoke Fashion, our mission is to cultivate engaging discussions about fashion and its enthusiasts. Now, we believe that fashion provides profound insights into the identity of the individual wearing the fashion. Now, for us, it transcends mere expression. It embodies the essence of who you are. You know, fashion offers the transformative power to influence your outward appearance and, in turn, your inner self. Now, fashion conveys a narrative about your identity, and one undeniable truth remains. You are consistently telling a story, whether you are aware of it or not. Now, what story are you telling? Better yet, what story is Pastor Mike Todd telling us? Now, for those of you who don't know, Pastor Mike Todd is the senior pastor of Transformation Church, a mega church in Oklahoma. Now, Pastor Todd previously sparked outrage in 2022 for wiping globs, if you guys remember, spit on the face of a man who was actually his younger brother during a sermon on Mark 8:23, where Jesus heals a blind man at Bethsaida by spitting into his eyes in private. Now, while preaching a few Sundays ago to his massive congregation, he opened a new series called Mustard, the seed that can change everything. That's why.
Seen God take my mustard seed faith and turn it into the building you're sitting in. You don't hear what I'm saying to you. I have seen God take my mustard seed faith and turn it into the movie set that I just came off of yesterday. You missed it. Believe it. I have seen.
Now, guys, you saw the clip, and despite his message, Christian leaders criticized Todd for his attire. Critics claimed that he looked more like something their aunties would wear. That's what they said, not me. Now, despite the strength of his message, again, he encountered backlash online for wearing attire that many perceived as feminine, which ultimately detracted and distracted from his core message. Now, at the time of this video, the sermon had garnered 137,000 views, which is a lot. However, it is difficult to discern whether viewers were drawn to the sermon itself, which would be the primary goal, or were they more focused on the controversial outfit. Now, not only were there those in ministry that found this outfit deplorable, but those who are more secular even offered their criticism of his attire, as we see here. Called it an abomination from Jason Whitlock. Now, there were more comments that appeared to question Pastor Todd's attire in the pulpit. For instance, this commenter shared, "Give your wife her clothes back." Okay, the internet is undefeated. Another commenter said, "I'm telling my kids that this is Michelle Obama." Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Now, this commenter shared, "American churches are a joke. Carnal through and through. Gay men all in the church's preacher." Now, guys, that's what this commenter said. Now, let's get one more, AB, before we switch over to those that show a bit of support for Pastor Todd, shall we? This commenter said, "Zesty outfit, wow." Again, guys, there were those who showed support when they also commented. This commenter says here, "Love the outfit on you, Pastor." So there were some that liked the outfit. Another commenter shared, "Outside of the outfit, this really is a good word, for real." Now, it seems that commenter was able to look beyond the outfit and grasp the underlining message. Now, one final commenter said, "Now, I'm not looking for a debate. Pastor Todd is the only one that has to account for how he leads his church." I thought it was the Lord's church, okay, but nevertheless. However, the number of people coming after his outfit is such a pitiful testament of how immature our Christian culture is today. Brother, tell them how you really feel, why don't you? Now, it seems that this commenter, much like Pastor Todd, prefers to resort to insults rather than engage in a mature discussion regarding the misleading nature of this outfit for many individuals. Now, many argue that Pastor Mike Todd's choice of attire may mislead his followers and, get this, guys, provide ammunition for skeptics of the black church. Now, this perception reinforces the belief that the church is predominantly led by women and that it is male leaders, including pastors, who are associated with the alphabet community. And you know who they are. Now, while I'll acknowledge that the church is intended to be inclusive, it seems that in contemporary society, now hear me close, guys, some pastors within the black church may prioritize being gay adjacent over adhering to biblical principles. So as a nod to the alphabet community, guess what? I will wear an outfit that is sure to gain their approval. Now, guys, I'm not alleging that this is the case with Pastor Mike Todd. But what I am saying is that this outfit, as I have said many times over, brings its own spirit with it. And this spirit not only made him look a certain way, but if you notice, his mannerisms also change while wearing this type of attire. That is why, let me talk to my black men who wear dreads for a minute. Bro, you can't allow your hairstyle to change your masculinity. You just can't do it. Guys, please don't do it. No. Listen, no. Listen, that's all I'm going to say about that. Moving on. Now, guys, listen, the church currently faces a unique challenge of its own making. Now, this challenge lies in balancing the outreach efforts that may attract non-believers to Christ while avoiding actions that might offend established believers. Now, historically, the church prioritized pleasing God over seeking the approval of man. However, it's my humble opinion that this commitment seems to have diminished in some segments of the black church, and I do say some. Nevertheless, it is important to acknowledge that there remain black churches that steadfastly uphold the bloodstained banner of Jesus Christ. Now, let's continue. Now, the central question arises: when both believers and non-believers are offended by the actions and behavior of a spiritual leader, guys, what steps should that leader take to rectify the situation? Now, guys, it's easy. The appropriate response should not involve the approach taken by this pastor, in my opinion, who exacerbated the issue by referring to those offended as average. However, I wish to extend more support than criticism to this pastor, as I believe this misstep can be readily addressed and corrected. Now, as I previously noted, during my research for this show, I uncovered insights that may explain Pastor Mike Todd's perspective on fashion. Now, guys, it appears that both he and his wife, Natalie, faced significant challenges in 2019, much like many of us who may have experienced during that period of time or any period of time. Now, as illustrated, their weight in this photo does not reflect their current state. And while many individuals face challenges in maintaining their weight during the pandemic, I know I did, the Todds encountered similar struggles even before its onset. Now, guys, listen, it is widely recognized that experiencing weight gain can significantly impact one's identity. However, I believe that losing weight can affect even more profound changes. Now, if we are to be candid, guys, many of us are aware of at least one individual who has experienced the transformative effects of Ozempic. Listen, and their newfound confidence is unmistakable. You must agree that they have confidence like never before. And guys, Pastor Mike Todd is no exception. Now, the journey of weight loss often brings with it a surge of body confidence that can be quite transformative. Now, after losing weight, people often feel more confident and eager to show off their new physique. Now, guys, this can lead to trying styles that are more revealing or outside their usual comfort zone. Now, next, individuals who have experienced weight loss often engage in what we consider fashion experimentation. Now, weight loss can feel like a new chapter. And some people take the opportunity, guys, to reinvent their style, which I think is a wonderful thing to do. Now, this sometimes means going bold or edgy, which can be, and hear me close, guys, can be a hit or miss. Now, I believe, guys, AB, put that picture up one more time, because I believe they ate in their black tie attire. Wouldn't you concur, AB? Wait, what was that, Grogu? Oh, you're sporting a handsome tuxedo for your class reunion this Memorial Day weekend? Bro, you gonna look sharp, my friend. I'm telling you. Listen, y'all gotta see Grogu when he goes out on the town. This guy is dapper. Look, they call the Met Gala. We're gonna talk about that at another time. We'll do another show on that. But at the Met Gala, what they call it, black dandyism. Well, listen, this is a dapper dandy right here, my friend Grogu. Hey, can you give my friend Grogu a round of applause just because listen, celebrate with those who celebrate, right? All right. Now, while there are numerous positive outcomes associated with weight loss, it is important to acknowledge that some effects may not be as favorable. Now, while I cannot assert with absolute certainty that Mike Todd is guilty of this matter, I do believe he exhibits signs of what I would call overcompensation. Now, overcompensation, I can envision the considerable pressure that a pastor of a megachurch faces to consistently project a larger-than-life persona to their congregation. Now, this expectation may sometimes result in efforts to overcompensate in ways that are intended to impress others. Now, some individuals may assume leadership roles before addressing, get this, their own insecurities. Now, someone who felt invisible or insecure before losing weight might overcorrect by dressing in overly provocative or flashy ways. Big red here. Not because it reflects their taste, but to chase external validation. Now, guys, did you get that? Not because they like it, and that reflects who they are, but they're just looking for someone to say how great they look. Now, many individuals, after successfully losing weight, may begin to disregard considerations of appropriateness. Now, guys, get this. The thrill of new possibilities can lead to choices that aren't appropriate for certain settings. You know, like wearing club wear to work or see-through tops in casual spaces. You know, you've seen that. And this can affect how others perceive them professionally or socially and even religiously. Now, Pastor Mike Todd finds himself in a controversial position regarding his choice of attire. Now, guys, listen. Many of us face similar dilemmas in fashion, grappling with the question of what constitutes appropriateness and whether we should challenge conventional standards. Now, Mike Todd, guys, is known for pushing boundaries, both in his sermons and personal style. However, there are moments when we risk interpreting the moment, which potentially could lead us to be like Mike. Now, how did Pastor Mike Todd come out? Pastor Mike Todd comes out. Can I get the ... sound effect, AB? Yeah. All right. Pastor Mike Todd comes out, in my view, his recent attire simply was not suitable for ministry. Now, yet some believe that, guys, he has more coming out to do and that his closet may symbolize further disclosures yet to come. I digress. Moving on. Now, guys, for Mike Todd, there is pressure to maintain his image, and this pressure to maintain their image for both he and his wife. Now, some people may feel they have to constantly look hot just to justify the weight loss, which can create anxiety and unhealthy body image issues, influencing them to dress for attention or approval instead of comfort or even self-expression. Now, guys, I believe that his wife can play a significant role in refining his wardrobe choices. Now, hear me close, guys. How? By providing constructive feedback before he presents himself to others. Now, women, you guys, I want to hear me close, my beautiful butterflies. Hear me close. You often underestimate the influence you possess in shaping your partner's attire. Now, while it may be challenging to persuade strong-willed individuals to alter their preferences, I am confident that, ladies, you can employ your ingenuity to guide even the most assertive men towards embracing thoughtful suggestions. Now, this notion brings to mind a particular story. Storytime music, AB. Now, guys, for the sake of remaining anonymous, once again, I'm going to change both names in this story. Now, guys, William had worked for nearly a decade in mid-tier marketing roles, always dependable and always solid. Now, a long-awaited opportunity had arrived, an interview for a creative director position at one of the top agencies in New York. Now, guys, the role was a leap, more leadership, higher stakes, a team of bold thinkers. Now, the night before the interview, William laid out his outfit: a sharp charcoal suit, crisp white shirt, and a silk lavender tie. Now, he loved that tie because it stood out. A little unexpected, but it made him feel modern, even daring. That's a good combination, modern and daring. But when Robin walked in and saw it, she paused. "That tie?" she said carefully. Now, William looked down. "What?" "It pops." She tilted her head. "It's soft. You don't want to be remembered for a color. This is a serious leadership role. You're not there to look artistic. You're there to look like someone they can trust with millions of dollars in ad spend." Now, he frowned, folding his arms. "So you think it looks effeminate?" "No," she said. "Let that speak. Go with the navy tie. It's sharp, grounded, and says you mean business." He sat with that. Robin wasn't afraid to push back when she believed in something. And as much as he liked standing out, this role wasn't about flashy. It was about stepping into authority. The next morning, he tied the navy silk knot and looked in the mirror. It wasn't flashy, but it looked, you know what? It looked right. Balanced, professional, in control. Now, the interview started off coolly. The hiring panel asked tough, direct questions. They weren't impressed by charm. They were scanning for leadership, strategy, composure. One panelist, a former consultant, asked why William believed he could shift the agency's creative culture without alienating their longtime clients. And William leaned forward, calm and clear. "Because I understand the difference between disruption and recklessness. Vision means nothing if you don't know how to ground it." You know, guys, that answer landed. Yes, it did. And afterward, the agency's managing partner pulled him aside. "You know what struck me?" she said. "You came across as someone who's got the confidence to take control without needing to shout about it. And that kind of restraint, especially in our world, is rare. And guys, guess what? A week later, William got the call. He'd been chosen for the role. But guys, that evening, he looked at the navy tie resting on the nightstand and smirked. "You were right," he told Robin. "That tie spoke louder than lavender ever could." She grinned. "Told you." There's power in knowing when not to make a statement. Guys, listen. The moral of the story is that sometimes true strength lies, and catch this, in restraint, not in standing out, but in knowing how and when to blend in to earn trust and to convey authority. Now, guys, will Pastor Mike Todd learn this lesson, or will there be another time that Pastor Mike Todd comes out? Family, listen, we have now come to the end of the show, and I appreciate you for continuing to rock with HeSpoke Fashion. And I really enjoyed you all, and I hope that you enjoyed this show as well. Now, if you like this content, please do me a favor, hit the like button and share this with someone else. Guys, let me know what you think about this subject in the comment section, all right? Guys, that's all I have for you tonight. Have a good night, good fashion, and remember, HeSpoke Fashion to you. See you next time. I hope you'll be back to join us, all right? Yeah! In the building! All right.